It's late. You just topped up the food bowl for the second time today. You scrubbed the litter box this morning. And last night, you were the one who got up at 3 to let her in. Right now, that same cat is sitting in the doorway, looking at a room full of family. And she walks right past you, past the hand that feeds her. She crosses the whole room and jumps into the lap of the one person who barely lifts a finger for her. The one who's a little allergic, the one who keeps saying he's not really a cat person. You've seen this. Maybe you've lived it. Everybody in the house has the same joke. She just likes him best. But that's not an answer. That's a shrug. Here's the real answer, and I won't make you wait for it. Your cat did not choose that person by accident, and she didn't choose them for food. She chose them because they passed a quiet little test. One she's been running on every person in that house, every day, for years. You just never knew it was happening. Today, I'll show you exactly what that test is. And we'll start with the part that matters most, the one thing that decides who a cat calls my person right now. So here's the big one. Your cat did not choose that person for food. She chose them because around that person, she feels safe. Sounds too simple? Here's the science. In 2017, two researchers at Oregon State University, Kristen Vitale and Monique Udell, gave cats a choice: food, toys, a familiar scent, or time with a person. You'd expect food to win. It didn't. When they tallied it up, more cats chose time with a person than chose food, about half of them, though food came a close second. It was a small study, so let's not oversell it, but the pattern holds. Filling the bowl makes you useful to a cat. It doesn't make you hers. So who does she pick? Usually the calm one, the one who doesn't fuss over her. And here's why. Put yourself in her paws for a moment. She's a small animal, and to a small animal, a person staring straight at her, leaning in, reaching down with a large hand from above, looks exactly like a predator. So the person who rushes over, scoops her up, and holds her nose to nose with all the love in the world can feel to a cat like being cornered. But the person who simply sits there, doesn't grab, doesn't stare, and lets her make the first move, that one feels safe. That's who's quietly passing the test. And there's solid proof of this. In 2020, a team at the University of Sussex studied the slow blink, that long, unhurried blink your cat gives you across the room. They found that when a stranger slow blinked at a cat first, the cat was more willing to approach that stranger than when the same person kept a plain, neutral face. A stranger, in seconds, just by softening the eyes. So try it tonight. Catch your cat's eye, relax your face, and slowly close your eyes. Then open them again. You've just told her, in her own language, "I'm no threat." Do that for a week and watch what changes between you. That's the test, and the gentle person in your house has been passing it for years, without ever knowing they were. If your cat picked the quiet one in your family, tell me in the comments. And if you'd like more of these honest looks into how your cat really thinks, subscribe and stay with me. The second test is about your voice, and out of every voice in that house, your cat knows yours. In 2013, two Japanese researchers, Atsuko Saito and Kazutaka Shinozuka, played cats a series of voices calling their name, several strangers first, and then the owner. The cats clearly heard the difference. When their own person's voice came on, their ears turned and their heads lifted. But most of them didn't rush over. They noticed and then stayed exactly where they were. That isn't indifference. A cat can know full well it's you and still see no reason to get up and make a fuss about it. And the recognition runs deeper than you'd think. Later studies found that cats can even tell their own name apart from other everyday words. Then in 2022, researchers in Paris noticed something quietly moving. A cat responded to the soft, higher voice its owner used with it, but not when a stranger spoke in that very same tone. It was a small study, just 16 cats, so take it as one gentle clue rather than proof. Still, the meaning is tender. What your cat listens for isn't a kind voice in general. It's your voice meant for her, a sound that exists nowhere else in the world except in the moments you speak to her. The third test only shows itself when something goes wrong, when your cat gets frightened, and what she does in that moment tells you almost everything. In 2015, a research team at the University of Milan, led by Isabella Merola, ran a simple experiment. They placed cats in a room with an object built to unsettle them, a fan with ribbons flapping off it, and had the owner react in one of two ways, calmly or with a wary, anxious voice. Most of the cats did something you've likely seen in your own home without ever putting a name to it. They looked back and forth between the strange object and their owner's face, reading it. And the owner's reaction shaped what came next. When the owner stayed calm, the cats held steadier. When the owner sounded alarmed, more of them edged toward the exit. If you've kept cats for years, you already know that glance, the quick look up at you the instant something startles them. What the study pins down is what that glance actually means. Your cat is using your face as her source of truth. She has decided that if anyone in the room knows whether this is safe, it's you. That is not a small thing for a careful animal to hand over, and she handed it to exactly one person. The fourth test carries a kindness in it, especially if your cat isn't the affectionate one you'd hoped for, because part of her choice was settled before the two of you ever met. A kitten has a narrow window early in life, roughly 2 to 7 weeks old, when her brain decides whether people belong in the safe column or not. This was first mapped in the 1980s by Eileen Karsh at Temple University. Kittens gently handled during that window grow into adults who seek out human company. Kittens who miss it stay guarded for the rest of their lives, no matter how much patience they're shown later. And temperament isn't shaped by handling alone. In the 1990s, Sandra McCune found that a kitten's boldness is inherited in part from its father, a tom the kitten will, in most cases, never once meet. So if your cat is shy, or slow to trust, or seems to have chosen someone else over you, understand this plainly. Time equals 1 second / greater than. A good part of that was written before you ever came into her life. It is not a verdict on you. And every test that's still open, you can pass. The fifth test is really a question, and I'd be dishonest to skip it. Do cats truly attach to one person the way we mean it? The research doesn't fully agree, and any channel that tells you it's settled is selling something. In 2019, Kristen Vitale's team at Oregon State ran cats through a version of the test long used on human infants. About 2 in 3 showed what psychologists call secure attachment. They treated their owner as a base of safety, just as children and dogs do. But 4 years earlier, Alice Potter and Daniel Mills ran an equally careful version and reached the opposite conclusion: that cats don't rely on their owners for security the way dogs do. 2 respected teams, 2 honest answers. If you've lived with cats a long time, that won't surprise you for a second. A cat doesn't love the way a dog loves, out loud, at the door, needing you. She loves on her own terms, in her own currency. So don't measure her heart with a dog's ruler. Measure it in the lap she chooses, night after night. So here's what the whole test comes down to. The person your cat chose didn't win her with a fuller bowl. They won her by being calm while others fussed, steady while others grabbed, quiet enough to let her come first, day after day, year after year, passing a test they never knew was being given. And remember what she is. Scientists who trace the DNA of every house cat alive today followed the line back to the wildcats of the Near East some 10,000 years ago. Solitary hunters built to live alone and answer to no one. That is the animal asleep on your couch. A creature whose entire history says, keep your distance, who looks around a room full of people and chooses to fold herself onto one lap. You didn't buy that with food. You earned it, slowly, in a language you never realized you were speaking. A calm hand, an unhurried glance, a voice she would know anywhere. So the next time she walks past everyone else and settles onto you, you won't have to wonder why she picked you. You'll already know. You passed the test.